Let's bring in John Hendren, who is in Provo, Utah, where those charges were announced. So Robinson has appeared in court. Tell us what happened and what we've learned from prosecutors.
Well, Foley, Robinson faces a growing mass of evidence against him, and now he also faces the death penalty. Prosecutors announced today that they would be seeking that penalty, and they said it in court while he was present on a virtual camera. Robinson was motionless, did not respond to that news. And they added a couple of charges that we didn't know about before. 2 counts of witness tampering and 2 counts of obstruction of justice, 1 count of discharging a weapon in the presence of a child. All of those could potentially add time. But they say they have a lot of evidence. They say they have DNA on the weapon that was left behind, the weapon used to kill Charlie Kirk. They have DNA, they say, on a towel used to cover that weapon and on a screwdriver left behind at the scene. They also have conversations with Kirk's parents. They say on a social media site called Discord, he confessed, acknowledging in his words, "It was me." They say they also have a text exchange between him and his roommate in which he confesses to the shooting, saying at one point, "I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." That was apparently written on a note under his keyboard, and he asked his roommate to pick up the keyboard and read that note. His roommate asked, "Why did you do this?" And he answered that he had enough of Kirk's hatred. Some hate, he says, cannot be negotiated out. So prosecutors have this growing mass of evidence against him. He was appointed a public defender. That defender has not been named, but the court approved that. So he hasn't actually even entered a plea at this point.
And how is this all playing out in the U.S., John?
The exchange between Robinson and his partner. Robinson's roommate asked,
well, this has launched, or at least accelerated, this massive conversation in the U.S. about which side uses more violent political language and takes more violent political actions. J.D. Vance, the vice president, was on Charlie Kirk's talk show, filling in, of course, where he said this is not a problem of one side or the other. He said the left is much more prone to violence. Is that true? Well, we've seen a number of incidents in which right-wing assailants have attacked Democrats. There was the murder of a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband recently. The attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. She was the former Democratic Speaker of the House. Man came into their house with a hammer. And then, of course, there was a plot to attack Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, also a Democrat. So this violence has been happening on both sides, but it does seem to be increasing. And Republicans are taking the tack that this is a really liberal problem. Vance says the Trump administration is going to go after anybody who contributed to the violence by this particular gunman, although there's really no evidence that he did anything but act alone. Foley.
Thank you so much, John, for that. John Hendren, live for us there in Utah.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.